Sunday, January 28th, 2024. Danger of self-serving leadership. Judges 9, verse 1 to 21, key verse 2. Ask all the citizens of Shechem, which is better for you, to have all 70 of Jerub-Baal's sons rule over you, or just one man? Remember, I am your flesh and blood. Judges 9, verse 1 to 21, NIV. Abimelek, son of Jerub-Baal, went to his mother's brothers in Shechem, and said to them and to all his mother's clan, Ask all the citizens of Shechem, which is better for you, to have all 70 of Jerub-Baal's sons rule over you, or just one man? Remember, I am your flesh and blood. When brothers repeated all this to the citizens of Shechem, they were inclined to follow Abimelek, for they said, He is related to us. They gave him 70 shekels of silver from the temple of Baal-berith, and Abimelek used it to hire reckless scoundrels who became his followers. He went to his father's home in Ophrah, and on one stone murdered his 70 brothers, the sons of Jerub-Baal. But Jotham, the youngest son of Jerub-Baal, escaped by hiding. Then all the citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo gathered beside the great tree at the pillar in Shechem to crown Abimelek king. When Jotham was told about this, he climbed up on the top of Mount Gerizim and shouted to them, Listen to me, citizens of Shechem, so that God may listen to you. One day, the trees went out to anoint a king for themselves. They said to the olive tree, Be our king. But the olive tree answered, Should I give up my oil, by which both gods and humans are honored, to hold sway over the trees? Next, the trees said to the fig tree, Come and be our king. But the fig tree replied, Should I give up my fruit, so good and sweet, to hold sway over the trees? Then the trees said to the vine, Come and be our king. But the vine answered, Should I give up my wine, which cheers both gods and humans, to hold sway over the trees? Finally, all the trees said to the thorn bush, Come and be our king. The thorn bush said to the trees, If you really want to anoint me king over you, come and take refuge in my shade. But if not, then let fire come out of the thorn bush and consume the cedars of Lebanon. Have you acted honorably and in good faith by making Abimelek king? Have you been fair to Jerub-Baal and his family? Have you treated him as he deserves? Remember that my father fought for you and risked his life to rescue you from the hand of Midian. But today, you have revolted against my father's family. You have murdered his 70 sons on a single stone and have made Abimelek, the son of his female slave, king over the citizens of Shechem, because he is related to you. So have you acted honorably and in good faith toward Jerub-Baal and his family today? If you have, may Abimelek be your joy, and may you be his too. But if you have not, let fire come out from Abimelek and consume you, the citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo, and let fire come out from you, the citizens of Shechem and Beth Millo, and consume Abimelek. Then Jotham fled, escaping to Beer, and he lived there because he was afraid of his brother Abimelek. Daily bread. First, selfish ambition versus servant leadership. Abimelek was so hungry for power that he deceived, betrayed, and murdered his family members. The worldly concept of leadership is that you have to oppress others, push them down in order to succeed. But the Bible teaches us a different kind of leadership, one that Jesus himself demonstrated: servant leadership. We don't look out for ourselves as our top priority. We are giving our life to help and serve others. We value others above ourselves. Why? So that they can experience a new life in Jesus. Mark 10:45 says, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." As growing leaders in the ministry, what kind of leaders we are striving to be? We need to check whether we're trying to copy worldly leaders, or if we're following Jesus' example and sacrificially serving others to lead them to God. Second, seeking wisdom in choosing leaders. Jotham, the youngest brother who survived, gave a parable of trees. The trees were trying to choose a new king among themselves. But when they all refused, they asked a thorn bush, a leader full of thorns, selfishness, pride, greed, deceitfulness, laziness, etc., will give a terrible influence to others. As shepherds of God's flock, we need to protect his sheep from being misled. So, we should not choose leaders carelessly. Sometimes we are tempted to choose leaders who appear strong, smart, and able. But what qualities does God look for? The Bible encourages spiritual leaders to have righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and gentleness. We need God's wisdom and discernment to find and raise up students to be this kind of leader. Prayer. Lord, help me to learn from Jesus' example and lead others through servantship. I want to become a spiritual leader who protects and correctly leads God's sheep. One word: be a humble and God-honoring leader.